Que lo que mi gente, my name is Kevin, and today I'm going to take you through the 3 things that I would look for when buying or upgrading your mountain bike.
Oh! Yeah, that's my first clear jump ever. Don't hit that roof. Oh! 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 Yo, this is nuts. Voy a tip up. Ah, no! I came in like a wrecking ball. Oh, these are big birds, brother.
Now, if you're just here for the list, I'm not going to sit around and make you wait for the rest of the video. My top 3 things are a dropper post, then it's good shifting, and then it's good suspension. Now, if I could extend this list to 5, I would add in there tires and braking, but we're just gonna focus on 3 things, and let me take you through them. All right, the first thing we're gonna touch on that list is a dropper post. This may not seem that important if you've never used one before, but for those of you who have, you know it's an absolute game changer. It both gives you confidence on the way down, because instead of riding on something that for me is up here, it allows you to get this. It allows you to get the seat out of the way, which then means you can lean back, put the bike forward, and go over stuff, not feeling like you're gonna be bucked over the front of the bike. Surprisingly, it also gives you a lot of extra movement and torque on the way up as well. If you saw my video on who knew Minnesota had techie climbs like this, you know that climb that I tried attacking a million times until I finally got it. What I did on the way up was start pedaling, lower the dropper post, and then again, what that allows you to do is have all of this extra movement to pedal around, jump around without the seat hitting your legs or your body. So overall, the dropper post adds confidence and allows you to tackle things that would be much harder to do on a bike without one. Now, the second thing we're gonna talk about is good shifting. If you don't know what shifting is, it changes which gear your chain is in, which then impacts how easy or hard it is for you to pedal. Now, if you have a cheap mountain bike, you probably also have a cheap shifting setup. What that does is it doesn't allow you to get into the gear you need when you need it. So let's say you're climbing or you're going at a good pace, you then see some rocks and roots and uphill. You want to be able to downshift to make it easier to pedal right when you want it. Now, let's say you click it, nothing happens. You click it again, nothing happens. Then you hit the first rock, you're in too hard of a gear, and you stop. Shifting is important because it directly impacts the feeling that you have on the bike, especially on mountain biking with the terrain constantly changing. Now, you don't have to go top of the line on this stuff. What I've found is top of the line is usually for pros or people seeking like very little marginal benefit. I've found the sweet spot is on bigger brands like Shimano and SRAM. If you look at where middle is, maybe go 1 up from that, and then I found that's a good spot for most people to have really, really good consistent shifting without going into electronic shifting and all that other stuff that may just be really expensive. The last thing we'll highlight, and I think is a good area to invest in, is suspension. If you don't know what suspension is, it allows your bike to move a little bit and squish and absorb some of what is going on underneath you without it being directly translated to you. Now, this is mountain biking. You're not gonna be riding on smooth surfaces. So if you're not on a smooth surface, that means you're gonna want something to soak up some of the rocks, the roots, the jumps, the drops, all of that fun stuff. So that's what good suspension does. It's gonna soak it up better than cheap suspension. Not only that, but it also allows you to dial in your ride in a way that you want, that you can customize based on your weight, based on your riding style, and also based on how you want the bike to feel when riding. The last thing we'll touch on, those 2 extra credit, tires and brakes. Now, in my mind, these make a difference after all of this other stuff is dialed in. So tires, right, if they're good tires, they'll grip in corners and allow you to turn and grab on logs or rocks, whatever you might be doing. So that makes a bit of a difference. And then obviously brakes. From a safety and confidence standpoint, if you have good brakes and you need them, you're gonna use them. You're gonna want good brakes when you need them. And then let's say you're trying something that's a little sketchy, you could then rely on good brakes if you want to bail out at the last second.
Ah, no, I can't.
There it is, my top 3 things to look for when buying or making upgrades to your mountain bike. These are 100% my own opinion, so I would be really curious to hear what your opinion is. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Is there something else that would make the list that I did not include? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. Thank you for liking it as well. And for those of you who are subscribed, I appreciate you helping grow the community. For those of you on Patreon, I appreciate you supporting the growth of this community. Extra love, extra big hugs and kisses sent out to you. I hope this video finds you super well. All right. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Nos vemos.